You stop a task halfway through and tell yourself you will come back to do it later. But something keeps pulling you back. Not urgency, not discipline. Just a quiet, persistent feeling that something is sitting there, unresolved, waiting for you. That feeling has a name, and understanding it will completely change how you manage your energy and time. In the 1920s, psychologist Maria Ovsiankina discovered something important about how the human mind handles incomplete tasks. When you start something and leave it unfinished, your brain does not let it go. It creates what is described as a persistent inner tension, a kind of mental pull towards completion that stays active until the task is done. This is closely related to the Zeigarnik Effect, the finding that incomplete tasks stay in memory longer than completed ones. But Ovsiankina went one step further. She found that people do not just remember unfinished tasks better, they are actively drawn back to complete them, even when there is no external pressure to do so. Your brain treats an unfinished task as an open obligation, and it will keep nudging you towards it until the obligation is closed. You feel this everywhere. You stop reading a book halfway through and find yourself thinking about it days later, even if you are not enjoying it that much. You leave a work task half done, and at the end of the day, it follows you home, sitting at the back of the mind through dinner and into the evening. You watch 3 episodes of a series and then stop. The unresolved storyline pulls you back in the next night. Not because you planned to watch more, but because something in you needs to know how it ends. That pull is not weakness, it is your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. Here is where this becomes important. Every unfinished task you are carrying is consuming mental energy, even when you are not actively working on it. The half-written email, the conversation you meant to have, the plan you started and set aside, or the project sitting at 80%. Each one is an open loop, and open loops compete for your attention quietly but constantly, making it harder to be fully present in whatever you are actually doing right now. Too many open loops is not just distracting. Over time, it creates a persistent sense of overwhelm that has nothing to do with how much you are actually doing, but everything to do with how much you have left unresolved. There are 3 ways to work with this rather than against it. First, when you start something, try to finish it before moving on. Not always possible, but whenever it is, completing the loop in the moment costs less energy than carrying it forward. Second, for tasks you genuinely cannot finish right now, write down the exact next step and when you will take it. Your brain accepts a concrete plan as a temporary closure. The tension releases even though the task is not done yet. Third, look at your list of ongoing things and ask honestly, which of these am I actually going to do? Because a task you are never going to complete is still generating tension consciously, and deciding to drop it closes the loop effectively. When you start managing open loops deliberately, your mental clarity improves in a way that feels almost immediate. You become more present because your attention is no longer being pulled in 10 directions by things sitting unresolved in the background. You feel less overwhelmed, not because you have less to do, but because you are carrying less unfinished weight throughout your day. And you start to notice how much of your mental fatigue was never about the work itself. It was about everything you had started and never properly closed. Finishing things is not just a productivity habit. It is one of the most effective things you can do for your own peace of mind.